Good morning, traders. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. As long as you're here and as long as you can hear my voice, good morning to you. This is to appreciate everybody that is here already present. That means you guys are early birds. And of course, that's to also welcome you to today's event, which is Morning Market Review. Of course, today I'll be your anchor. So today's Monday. Of course, it's already promising to be a very good week for all of us. So a very good week because look at the calendar of events for the week. And I see a lot of upcoming events that are kind of interesting and that you want to be part of. So being part of it means that you are ready, not just in, with your internet and everything, but also with your account, bumping with money such that that means you are well funded so that you can take advantage of those things. So I'm going to be sharing the screen of events with you guys so that you can see what's up today. Of course, when I say events, I mean fundamental events. But of course, looking at the screen of events, there's no particular one that is of high volatility, but that's for today. But for the week, there are more and more events, that you can take advantage of, So I'm going to be sharing the weekly view with you right now, so that we can look at it. Let me just quickly share my screen before I share that. Let's go to allow. Of course, let me just share this particular page with you. I hope you can see it now. This is a Forex Factory view of the events for the week. Okay, so it's promising to be a very good week. You can see a lot of red and brown. Matter of fact, if we even filter to red only, you see that they're still kind of interesting. Let me go to the top and do that. So let me go to filter. Say, okay, instead of the brown, we just go with the red only. You see that they are still kind of interesting. Starting with Monday, which is today. So, oh, sorry, November. Let's go to, hold on, let me just filter again. Look at both the brown and the red. So, also today's 11. Doesn't mean that there's no event this week. No, I mean, this week. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So let's go to red only now. Do this and do filter. So I mean this week. So Tuesday tomorrow, we are looking at the claimant count rate. That will be first thing we're looking at. The forecast is 20,000 plus. The previous result was 25, but this time around we're looking at 20,000 plus. I want to believe this will come true because we looked at the pound event last week. It was kind of interesting. You see the pound event that came around. Let me just go here. That we can see it. The pound event, which was the rate, actually came 4%, okay, which is as expected. Of course, you see that the pound particularly was actually buoyant. So if you look at the chart also, you see that the pound, particularly against other basket of currencies, has been very strong against dollar. It was very strong last week against Japanese yen, against even euro. All right. Okay, that's euro pound last week was kind of a little bit bearish towards the end of the week. So I also expect that this particular one will continue. So if you look at the current week that we are in now, which is the week of November 9 to 15, which was starting yesterday. All right. Today is 10. So I expect this claimant country change to come as expected for this week. So you want to take advantage of this? Very simple. Position yourself at 8 o'clock tomorrow, 8 o'clock on the dot. All right. While we're on MMR, of course, we're going to be trading that event. Of course, you can take advantage of because I expect that to actually be volatile. Now, coming Wednesday, there's no event, but of course, Thursday is very strong. So starting from 1:30 in the morning, in fact, I expect all of us not to go or sleep. Okay, 1:30 in the morning, you're going to be enjoying employment change and of course, unemployment rate now. Always say this, that if the employment change and unemployment rate, which I expect to be volatile really, are very, very like that. It means that at the end of throughout the week, AUD will be your focus, right? Or AUD should be your focus. And of course, by Wednesday, by that same Thursday, there's GDP for pound. And of course, there's tentative CPI for dollar, right? Now, normally it comes on Tuesday, but this time around it's coming on Thursday. All right, and this is because of the government shutdown in US. So that's why they write it tentative. So it might not come to pass. Of course, it may come to pass. Now, of course, tentative also on Friday is the core retail sales for US. And of course, when you see tentative like that, that's because the data is not 100% sure to be released. And that's because of the government shutdown in the US, right? So, but of course, we want to take advantage of the Thursday event for uh, pound, and of course, Thursday event for AUD. So 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, I expect it to be by your laptop by 1 o'clock in the night of that Thursday for AUD, so that you can take advantage of that market by 1:30. Load your account already so that you don't need to call your account manager for anything. Now, let's get started by sharing my, MT4 or MT5 screen, whichever comes first. I think I have money on both accounts, so we can look at what's going on for today. So I'm going to go to MT4. Let me go to share and go to this, right? Okay, so you can see now that I don't have any trade running, right? So I'm going to just go to here and see if I can actually, something happened. I had to kind of like format my uh, MetaTrader. So let me delete this and of course delete standard deviation because close. So now I can go to Control G, group, grid, move it. Because this black background, so I can change to white if I choose by going through properties and going to color scheme, black and white, and of course going straight to bull candle. I choose whatever I want. All right. Matter of fact, I save it like this. Because if I say green, bear candle, I can say red, so that all of us can have an idea of red being bearish, blue being green being bullish. And of course, I can change the condition of this to the normal BP. Or maybe I can just change it to 1. Oh, that's not good. Permit me. I'm just trying to format this. Let me just change it to green or even blue. I think blue would be nice. All right, so doing this, I can save it. Excuse me. As the normal Bollinger Band, which I love to use all the time. All right. This particular Bollinger Band you see has given me enough money in trading. All right. I know how to trade it. I know how to trade really. And of course, I can tell you that this is one of the best indicators you can find in the market, right? That's especially if you are using phone. If you're a phone user that don't have access to custom indicators like Fresh Pips and the rest of them, if you can master this indicator and of course you take trading seriously, we can give you a lot of money. All right. So all you need to know is to know how to trade reversals and how to trade breakouts. Okay, if you know it, of course you can take advantage of it and make enough money in this market. So I'm going to go straight to after saving this, I'm going to go to another instrument, say this one, and also go to no, sorry, I'm going to go to click on this one and go to this. Then I'll do this also. I'm trying to format my chart. I said something happened. I had to kind of like delete my MT4, reinstall. Because of that, I had to start all over to do this. Now I'm going to be analyzing this market shortly, but this one's I open. But permit me to just change this one also to this. All right. So because I like using this particular view always. I like using this always, right? Not my fault. I also try to understand market this way. Okay, so let me save it as clean candle. Now, if you want me to look at anything, don't forget you can also mention it because I'm going to look at it, right? Just drop it in the comment section. I'll read through and of course look at it. Now, let's start by looking first of all at this one I'm looking at, which is AUD-USD. Now, AUD-USD is currently printing what you are seeing on the screen. Now, if I zoom out, like normal zoom out, I may not be able to see much, but I want to believe this price will continue to appreciate. That means I want to believe that this price will continue to push further. Now, that does not mean that you should click on buy. That doesn't mean that, right? Okay, or that you should click on sell. No, it means that you should look out for opportunities to, when the price, give you signal that the price wants to appreciate, then you go ahead and execute a buy. That's my bias for this one. Okay, but on the flip side, if the price, fail to appreciate, I say appreciate because it just broke a ground. Okay, but if the price now fail to appreciate and of course begins to go down, then you should be looking at shorting it when the price break a new low. What is the new band it just broke? That would be this one. I'm going to just click on the site and click on shape and pick rectangle and show you this part. Okay, so you can see that the price just recently broke this part. Now let me right click and go ahead to do this and change this color to this one. I think lime will be good. Lime is good enough because I do this. Okay, so if I zoom in now, you will see at a glance that the price just broke this bound, right? This bound here. This one I'm using my cursor to do. And of course, you can see that once the price break that bound, the price has potential to shift forward. But if everything else fail and the price begins to, touch down, it means that once the price break back into this bound, that the price may now continue to. I'm actually tempted to actually make this bigger. Permit me to go to parameters and come on, let's go to this one. I think it should be big enough like this. Okay, so you can see now that the price could actually break below this low. So if you break this resistance now, this was a resistance at the point, it has been broken, now it's that's not support. So if the price turn around and break the support, then the bias will change, and of course the price will continue to step down. All right, so you could look out for this opportunity on AUD. Now, considering the fact that AUD we have, we already discussed that. I'm going to just go to, I hope I'm sharing the screen, yeah? So I'm going to go back to this level. Considering the fact that AUD will have unemployment or employment change and unemployment rate on Tuesday by 1:30, it could mean that this price is actually beginning to price in right now, considering the fact that these events are coming up on Tuesday. Today is Monday already, so we are just 24 hours less than that. 24 hours less than, in fact, it may be 13, 14 hours now. And of course, that event will come out. And of course, if this data comes out, AUD may continue to push forward or may continue to push down. So whatever AUD is going to do between now and 1:30 in the morning tomorrow, you should be able to kind of guess, all right? And of course, trade correctly based on that. So let me go back and share this one with you. So a break below this one between now and that 1:30 will mean that AUD may continue to tank, all right? So you need to watch out for that. Now, you could also attach some other indicators to this chart based on this information you see. That apart from you can do all these things on phone. This one I'm showing you now, you can know your phone, but of course you can also attach other indicators like this one, okay, and of course this. Now you can see that there's a breakout on this Bollinger Band. So breakout really says that if I zoom in now, you can see that there's a price close above the upper band, which means that the price could actually continue to push the upper side. And of course, that's another example of showing you what the price have potential of doing. All right. And of course, if you now also attach other indicators to this chart, like moving average, okay, to also check with, for example, 50, and of course, make it exponential to see what the price is doing currently. You can also see that the price has already break above the moving average 50. Okay, let me make it big so that people can see it. That's the red one you are seeing on the screen. Now, there was a break above it, and of course, there was a retest of it with a very, very strong bullish candle. This is 1 hour bar. Okay, so it means that I'm going to just click on shape and bring this. So there's something here that you can see already that shows that the price is already priced in here. After a breakout, there was a retest and of course a bullish engulfing bar, telling you that this price will continue to push forward. Now, that is an example of scenarios you can see on AUD. So AUD, not just against dollar, but against other currencies like pound, could be very, very strong. A reversal of this scenario could now mean that the price could go down, which means that because normally how I use Bollinger Band is anytime price touch the upper band, I'm looking for a reversal. Now there has been a reversal here that is not materialized. And of course, if there's another reversal on this Bollinger Band, it will mean that this price is tired. Of course, the price wants to go down. So that way, you can now begin to look for a sell opportunity in the market. But of course, for now, you could just begin to look for a buy opportunity. But of course, there is none at the moment, right? So you need to continue to wait for that opportunity. Now, if I go ahead and open another chart, like so, on this same AUD USD and give it a clean handle, and then switch to D1, we can now begin to see what we are looking for. Now, on this D1, I could do this, all right? I could do low, like so. Now, this indicator, this particular indicator you see is just a trend line. But of course, this trend line tells me a lot of things concerning AUD, a lot. Love using this because it gives me a perspective of what AUD could do, all right? I've been using this particular trend line for a while, but because I deleted that chart or the MT4, I couldn't just see it. So I think AUD will do some of as much as what you're looking at on the screen. Now, currently, the price is approaching a resistance on D1, all right? When I say resistance on D1, you could already see it that these lines that I drawn, okay, I draw them, I started from one, and of course, started pricing them in to give me this. So this is more like, this is more like channel on the chart. Okay, I love using this channel, especially for AUD, because the way I see AUD is trading on a channel. All right, you can already see that the price is trading like on a band, okay, between the lower band of these channels and the upper band of this channel. Now, I say channel because this is D1 really. Of course, I can switch to H4 and of course it will still be the same thing. Of course, before I switch to that, let me go back to D1 and show you something. So if I go to, permit me to just do this here because I like seeing my rectangle, okay, already. So let me just close it and then click on it. So this is like a low, right? This is also like a low. Now I'm showing you all this because it gives you a perspective as to what AUD is doing and how you can take advantage of it. And of course, there's a low there also that was respected. A low also that was respected. Now, speaking of this low, there's also a high, like around here. And of course, I want to believe that this high will be respected in the future. Seriously, 100% respected in the future. This is how I trade AUD, USD. Trade it with just simple channel like this. It gives me a perspective as to what the price have potential of doing on the chart. So if I come this way, I can also pick it here. These places I'm touching with the greens are the areas I believe that the price could reverse. All right, those are the areas of interest. All right, because they happened before. Of course, you can see them severally on this route. They could happen again. All right, so let me just copy this and bring it to this low. Copy this and bring it to this low. Copy this and bring it to this low. Copy it and give it to this low. Now, these are the areas that are respected on the chart, whether on the bottom or at the top. Whether at the bottom or at the top. Those are the areas that were respected on the chart. And of course, because they are respected, they can happen again. So now that the price is getting close, all you need to do, this is D1. All you need to do now is to look at what the price will eventually do. So we have seen salient points. All these points that I'm showing you, they are valid on the chart. Those are areas of interest for both buyers and sellers. Now, as it is now, this price will break this bound because it's currently around this resistance. And if you break this bound, the next support, or sorry, the next resistance to view will be this one. Of course, you can see it play out all over, all over, all over. So we have seen it since 2024 December. Of course, we're approaching 2024 again. Sorry, December 20. So within a year, AUD has been trading on a band, kind of like an upward channel, all right? An upward channel that is around or less than 45 degrees, which means that this price will continue to appreciate, going forward. 45 degrees is a very good, trend direction. I think the trend is up. Now, what you can do is to now price it down to H4. You want to look for entries. So you price it down to H4 and then begin to check what the price is doing. So you can just stay on H4 like this and now begin to now drill it down to M15 and whatever, and then begin to see what the price will do. So now that we see or we agree that the price could actually price forward, the price is currently approaching a resistance, right? So all you need to do is to check what the price will do around here on this 15 minutes. And of course, speaking of this 15 minutes, it means you can zoom it in and check what the price will do at this point in time. So all you need to do is to, because the price has not yet touched that resistance, so all you need to do is check what the price will do around here. Are you seeing it now? So this is how you know what the price will do. All right. Of course, you can also put Bollinger Bands. You can put moving averages. Now you know your key areas of interest. Now you want to trade around those interests or interest areas. So speaking of this event that's coming out tomorrow, you could draw something like this on your laptop, phone, and then price it in with some of the indicators you have, like the Bollinger Band, the moving averages, whatever you can lay your hand on. Moving average could be very good. It could prove a point. All right. So if the price eventually hits this resistance now and come back for this moving average between now and that 1:30 in the morning, and of course give you kind of like a bullish engulfing, something like this. All right, in the future, then you could buy. Otherwise, you can stay off. And of course, if you give you a bearish engulfing, then you could sell. And of course, if you are selling, remember that your last point of call will be on that 4 hours. And of course, it will be this low. Okay, so that's where you can take your profit. Of course, if you now begin to break bound and it's going above, then you can take your profit on the next level. So, which is the higher one up there. Now, somebody wants to ask me a question based on this analysis. I will be glad. So somebody says Thursday. I don't really know what the person is meaning by Thursday, but let's continue to look at what is going on. So, but Oluka, I really don't understand that. Of course, Clement. Permit me. I didn't mention some of you guys' name. It's not my fault. It's if you have questions and answer, you can just type it and drop it in the question and answer section. What did you call indicators, sir? I also please kindly train us on how to apply the indicator too. I'm not really bringing any indicator that is strange here. The indicators are on the screen are moving averages and trend lines and Bollinger Bands and the rest of them, which you can easily grab 100% on your MT4, MT5. Depends on the terminal you are using, of course, take advantage of it. So, but of course, I mentioned an indicator earlier that I call Fresh Pips that you can use on your laptop only. It doesn't work on phone, right? Of course, you could speak to your manager or meet any of the guys in the academy, whether in Lagos or in Abuja or in Ibadan or Port Harcourt, and of course, we'll give you. And if you're on off-site locations, we are coming soon to your area. And of course, you could speak to any of us. You have my phone number. You can just reach out to me, and of course, I will direct somebody to ensure that this get across to you on your laptop. Okay, so you need to know how to install all those indicators as well. So EKK is asking what will be the appropriate entry exit on the USD for day trading. That's a very good question. The AUD USD you're looking at, we're currently on H4. You could put your price also on H4. And of course, the entry and exit will be glaring, right? So the appropriate entry and exit is simple. You enter a buy at a support, you enter a sell at a resistance. Those are appropriate entries. Exit, fine. So if you enter a buy at a support, you close your trade at resistance or near resistance. That's your exit point. And if you enter a sell at a resistance, you close your trade at a support area or near support area. That's your exit point also. So that's the appropriate entry and exit for that AUDSD for the trading. And of course, we already marked those key levels of support and resistance on the chart. Also mark your own also, so they can know where to place a sell and buy. Now, Clement was saying he was referring to the news I talked about. You said Tuesday instead of Thursday. Well, I don't know. Let me go back to that. Which of the news are you referring to? Let's go back to chat. No, sorry, let's go back to share and check out the news. The one I see here is, oh, okay, was it Thursday? Yeah, that's true, Thursday. I apologize for that. So it's Thursday really for the AUD. I can see it now. It's actually Thursday, but the one for Tuesday tomorrow is the claimant count change for pound. So event is Thursday, everybody, not Tuesday. So go ahead and sleep and feel like a baby tomorrow and get ready for Thursday. I appreciate you, Clement. I appreciate you, the other guy that mentioned all those things. You have more question and answer, you can just post it now and look at it. I'm not always available to monitor trade. Can I get a robot to trade for me? Well, you can just check MT4, MT5, robot section. Let me show you. And of course, you can download some there that you can use, but you need to test them and be sure that they work, right? All you need to do is to just go to Control T, go to market, all right? This way you can get some, right? You could see some of them here that you can just download and use. It's allowed, but just pay for it 100%. Some of them are even free. You could download. So if you don't have time to monitor, you could use any of these ones. Just check them out, click on any of them, speak to the person that wants to sell. And of course, you can get, I think you should be able to get something good from here that you can use, right? But ensure you test them out and be sure that it works for you. Apply them on your chart. All right. So that's where you can get it in the market. Of course, it's there, it's available. Everybody can go there and check if you are interested in option of robotic trading. All right. So let's go back to what we're discussing. Back to question and answer. Let's go back here. Nobody has posted any question yet, so I'm going to close this part. Of course, continue our conversation now. Okay, so you can also send a chat to me personally. I'll look at it if you don't want to use that. So let's go back to our discussion. And now we can go back to GBP USD. Now, like I said earlier, I said pound, since event is coming out tomorrow, I'll be looking at how that ends, all right? But of course, as of this moment, there's nothing special on pound that we can use. But based on what we are seeing now, the price could, or is trying to push forward. So you might, and of course, even on the daily bar, the price is currently bullish on the daily bar. So you might want to check that out and see if it's an option, for you to take advantage of. But otherwise, because right now we have a bearish engulfing, this price will go down. Of course, it could go up because currently, after this bearish engulfing, there's no confirmation yet. What I mean by confirmation is, if you look at the 1 hour time frame, and you apply a simple moving average strategy on this one. And of course, you go to good morning. You go to okay, so this one is not even close, except you want to use 21, right? So if we change this one to 21, what happened? Let's take it to 21 and check it out. Okay, so that's okay. So now we have a bearish engulfing that is not yet confirmed. What I mean by confirmation is there's a bearish engulfing candle, this red bar. Let's go to, when I say red bar, let me come here and do properties and do change this one to red. Okay, so I can save this as a moving average you can use. Simple, that's moving average strategy. Okay, so we see a bearish engulfing bar on 1 hour, but of course there's no confirmation yet. When I say bearish engulfing, there is this candle here that is red that engulfed the previous candle green in body, all right? Even though the range looks like they are equal, all right? But we can still call it bearish engulfing. But for us to place a sell, we need a confirmation of that bearish engulfing, all right? But right now, there's a candle that is currently bullish and is trying to overshadow the whole bearish engulfing formation. So if this candle that is currently bullish can also be bullish enough to close above the high, and of course, remember we don't have a kind of like a low that is lower than the red, so it makes it a partial engulfing. It will make it a partial engulfing, which in trading is not 100%. It's not what I'm looking for. Of course, it could still push the price up. So you need to wait for this candle to close before you decide if you want to jump into a buy or sell. Of course, for the sell opportunity, you need the confirmation. For the buy opportunity, also you need the confirmation for this one. So that's the way pound is looking at this morning. There's no decision now for us to trade a buy or a sell on it, but the price looks good to push up, right? Looking at the overall event since August this year, We see that the price has been coming down, obviously, and of course, nothing lasts forever. So it could just be that the price is trying to push back up. But if it's based on trend, the trend is down, which means that the price could still go down, right? That's all it means. Okay, so let me look at the comment. Somebody dropped a comment already. Okay, Ike is trying to know my phone number. I see that. Somebody says it's on a buy on Euro USD and it's on the right track. That where can we exit? We'll check it when we get to Euro USD. Somebody is asking for my phone number. My phone number is 090-2039-8739. You can just write that straight away. And of course, also asking for confirmation. That how do we confirm? All right. I'm going to explain that if I see opportunity to explain that. Now, somebody is also asking. That's Benga Kola. I think Kola is your name, but of course I can see that Benga. So the confirmation is the doji beside the bullish engulfing, right? Well, I've not seen the doji that you're talking about, Benga, and I don't know the instrument you're talking about because you can see I'm analyzing a lot of instrument this morning. Now, everybody, before we continue, you want to take advantage of opportunities to, if you don't know how to trade yet, you want to take advantage of opportunity of copy trading on the platform. We have a social platform that you can go to. You fund your account, 500,000, 1 million. You should be able to see that's minimum. I mean, you should be able to see somebody you could copy. That's a provider you could copy on that platform. So the copy opportunity is for people that really don't have time to sit with their, laptop and trade. For example, somebody that mentioned that he wants to use bot. So instead of you to go and buy a bot of $1,000 that you're not sure of, whether it will give you money or not, why don't you take advantage of copy trade, right? So the copy trading means that you are not, paying any money to any provider, sorry, any programmer that will code anything for you. You are just taking advantage of copy trade or copy system we have on the platform. Okay, that way you can look for somebody that have a track record that you can copy, and of course you can set your risk reward. You can actually set your risk, okay, that this person I'm following with this amount of risk on your account. And of course, that way, of course, remember that when it comes to copy, when the person win, you also win. Even though when the person lose, you also lose. You need to know that. Okay, but you should be able to see someone that have a track record. Track record in the sense that you have seen that this person has been trading for a while and he has a winning rate that is consistent with what you're looking for. All right, then you can follow that kind of person. And when the person, because those are traders that are trading, I wouldn't know whether they're trading manual or not because I don't have access to their account. But if they have a good track record, you can just go to copy platform and check them out. All right. So that's to also mention to people that are listening that can take advantage of that. So for some of you now, you have been listening all this while, you have been looking for a way to break through. Oh, I'm waiting for one particular strategy that I can use. Instead of waiting for that, you can just go ahead and copy somebody, right? And of course, if you're a trader also and you know your onion and you know you can trade very well, you can become a provider on that platform as well. Of course, still be earning some income. You can set your income, you can set the percentage you want to be collecting from winning from all the trades that you win, okay, on that platform. That's the social platform, okay, and take advantage of that. Now, you want to do this by, if you don't know how, you can ask your account manager for direction, all right, or how to start, because I know you have to fund the account, on MT5, and of course, enroll it on that social platform to make money. Now, Bolaji is asking, what is the minimum money to place a trade on EUJPY using 0.01 lot size? I think 100,000, 150,000 should be able to do that. If you have like 150,000, 100,000, that's like $100 on your account. You should be able to trade that mini lot size or micro lot size, right? That's for Bolaji or Bola Fadiji, right? So again, for the person that asked me phone number, what I can do, because a lot of people are asking me for it, let me just drop it for everybody to see. So if you go to the comment section now or the chat section, you should be able to see my phone number, 039878739. All right. So you can just, I think that number is to everybody. So you can just see it now. And of course, you can take advantage of it. Now, the phone is with me here. If you call it and it doesn't, just send me a WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is 100% active, 100%. All right. So the best way to reach me is through WhatsApp, everybody. That's the best way to reach me. Okay. So if you call me and I didn't pick, you can just send me a WhatsApp message. I will quickly attend to you and your request. Now, can you still take trade on your account if you are a copy? The answer is 100% yes. That question is from Uchechuku. You can take trade, yeah. So, for example, you have ₦1 million, you have 2 million, and you are copying somebody, and the person is trading. You can still take trade because you already set your risk on your account. So you can still take trade individually on your account. It doesn't stop you from taking trade. All you need to do though is that when you're taking that trade, you ensure that the trade you take is your trade. All right. The person is trading maybe let's say, for example, the person is trading Euro USD and you want to take a trade, you take trade on GBP USD or Euro JPY. You already know that your own trade is Euro JPY. So you will not touch trade that is Euro USD because the person is trading Euro USD, right? Then, and of course, if you still want to trade Euro USD, which is fine. So you know your trade because you should know the time you place your own trade, right? Of course, you can also check with the comments. You can even put comment on your own. You can put comment on your own trade, all right? So that you can use your own comment to know your own trade. Now, if you want to know how to put comment on your own trade so that it doesn't, so that you distinguish your comment, your own trade from other person's trade, it's very simple. Maybe I can just use that to show you how to do that. Let me do Control T here. Permit me to do Control T. Of course, see if I can take a trade. And of course, you can see the way I'm going to apply comment to it. So, for example, let's say that I'm taking a trade on this GBP USD, and of course, that I'm taking a pack, an example, right? And I want to put comment. So, I'm going to go to, first of all, I'm going to, instead of doing, because I know most of my trade are normally on, permit me to do option. Most of my trade are on one-click trading. So I'm going to change this to trade, yeah. So I'm going to disable this and do okay. So let's say I want to take a trade on Euro USD. I'm just going to click on new order. Can you see now, everybody? So I'm going to put comment here. Can you see this comment? So I'm going to type my trade. So once I do my trade and I place a trade buy, okay, I've executed a trade buy. So if, for example, the person is trading Euro USD, and I come to trade like this, and I come to GBP USD, or even if the person is trading GBP USD, I should be able to check. You can already see that on this screen, I can see my trade. I see my trade there. So that's my trade. So for example, now let us say the person is also trading GBP USD, okay, and the person, is also trading the same lot size as your own. You want to distinguish between your trade and the person's trade. It's still very simple because they will, because the person doesn't know you. Two of you will not have the same comment. Obviously, two of you will not have the same comment. So what you can do is to distinguish. For example, let's say the person is also trading Euro GBP USD and the person trade without comment. All right. If the person places a trade without comment or with comment, you will still know because you know your own comment different from that person's own. So let's say I'm also on a trade and I'm also on a buy with the same person. So let's say the person is the person that traded the second trade. So you want to know which one is your trade between these two. It's very simple. Touch the two trades. Touch the first one. The first one says my trade, place manually. Second one says place manually. Can you see now? So there's clear difference. So you know that your trade is your trade. So the one that has my trade is your trade. That's how you know. That's how you distinguish between your trade and the person that is copying or that you're copying. So if you're copying somebody, the comment will never be the same because you know your own trade is different from the person's trade. So this is how you know. So one of these trade now, you can see that one of them is saying my trade, place manually. The second one is saying place manually. Another way you can also know is the order number, all right, the ticket number. So called ticket number in trading. The ticket number normally is this one on the left. So you can see that one of them is 606-47334. The second one is 606-47339. So this way you can also use this one to know. For example, if you now place your own, you can write your order number or ticket number. You can write it on your jotter. Just grab a jotter around you and write ticket number. So that one you can use the ticket number to close it. So you can see my trade is the one that ends with 334. Person's trade is the one that ends with 339. So you can close, if you don't want to tamper with your trade, you can close the one that ends with 334. That way, you are good to go. So it's very simple to know. Of course, your trade should not disturb the person's trade. All right. So because when you're copying somebody, you want to allow the person to do 100% whatever he wants with that trade, because you're not the one that plays it, so you don't have the right to control the trade. So because the person can close the trade at any time he wants. And of course, it will not jeopardize your account because you already set your risk. But note that you can close the trade. It's not as if you cannot. Somebody place a trade and you are copying the person, and the trade is in profit. Though I'm not advising you to do it. The trade is in profit. Your eye cannot, I don't know how, Nigerians can be very somehow. The person is already on a profit of 20,000 and the person is not closing it. But you like 20,000, you want to collect the 20,000 and manage it. Why not? You can close the trade and move on. All right. I don't advise it. I'm saying it. I don't advise it, but it's actually possible for you to do some of those things. All right. So let's go to comment section now and see what more people are saying. Actions are, is copy trading not giraffing? What do you mean by giraffing? Well, yeah, this man is a very funny man. Very funny. Very, very funny. It's like Isaac Isa Sadiq. Okay. Maybe I can call you Isaac. I think it should be the same thing. Isaac in the scripture in the Bible is also Isa in Quran. Possibly I'm just guessing. I don't know because I'm not a Muslim, so I don't know what you call Isa in whatever. All right. Now, you're asking if copy trading is not giraffing. Now, giraffing when we're in university or secondary school, they say giraffing is when somebody is writing exam, okay, and you are peeping. You are putting your neck is very long. You are copying what the person is doing. Okay. The person is writing chemistry. He's defining isotope, he's defining atom. But you are forgetting the definition of atom. So you're now trying to peep to see what the person is writing so that you'll be able to, I don't know, copy the person. That is wrong in secondary school. Okay. But in life, in real life, that is wrong in classroom setting. But in life, you're allowed to copy somebody. Let me ask you something. When I was younger, I used to see Ekene Lechuku, transport company. I used to see God is Good transport company. But today, we see a lot of them. We see different companies that are into transport. We see God is Good Motors. We see GUO. I think GUO has been long, but God is Good. I think it's relatively new. You see a lot of all these new crop up, people that are, coming to, also do something like that. Also, when we were young, we used to hear Nigeria Airways as the only, airline that is domesticated, that is Nigeria owned. But these days, you see a lot of, companies, Airpeace, ValueJet, a lot of different companies coming up that are Nigerian, that are indigenous, right? Okay, not just those ones. We also have Overland Airways. All of them are, there, all right, copying other people's mode. And of course, we can also even see the recent one. I think the most recent one now is the Enugu Air that is new. Okay, of course, that's also copied because at a point in time, government, that's the state governor, started doing something like that. We see this in government of Akwa Ibom State that floated Ibom Air. We also see it in Cross River State that floated Kali Air. I think they put Kali Air under one of these local airlines. So copy is allowed, sir. Copy is allowed. All right. Copy is allowed in real life situation. You can copy somebody's business and do it. And of course, we see this in Onwaibos, all right? All of them are on the same spot selling spare parts. What you are selling is what I'm also selling. So in real life, sir, copy is allowed, right? Giraffe is allowed, right? So how is profit and loss shared in copy trade? This is not a copy trading class. So I'm just teaching you what is possible. But of course, because a lot of people are asking questions on copy now. Someone is asking how is profit and loss shared in copy trading? I think that's pretty simple. The person makes, you copy somebody, the person makes 100,000 naira profit. And I think it depends because you can also check because I think you see a lot of them offer 20% return, 30% return, 40% return. Depends on the one you now choose. Based on, I think you should choose it based on performance profile. What I mean by that is if the person is winning consistently, it won't matter whether the person is asking for 30% or 25% or 20% or 40%. All right. 40% or 30% on the profit the person makes. The person makes 100,000 profit on his account, which means he also makes 100,000 profit on your account. The person is now asking for 30%, which means that the person will collect 30,000 out of the 100,000. That's what it means. Okay. The person make 1 million. The person is asking for 40%. which means the person will collect 400,000 and will leave 600,000 for you. Automatically, though, you are not the one that will even release it. The system is already coded to deduct the money at close of those trades, and of course, give the person the percentage he requested. It's already set from the beginning, so you see it. Now, when placing a trade on the PC, is there a way to modify it? The answer is yes, right? So, for example, I can see that I've placed this trade on this PC, and of course, I can modify it. Modification in the sense that you can modify it, not in the point of entry, but in the point of exit, all right? You can modify the stop loss, you can modify the take profit. For example, on the trade I placed now, I want to modify the first trade, which is my trade, all right? So, to modify it, I want to put stop loss and take profit. So all I need to do is to point on my cursor. There are different ways to do this. Point my cursor to the stop loss or the TP, right? And of course, double click on the 00 there. You see this option comes up. And of course, you can choose levels to modify. Let's say, for example, I want 200 pips from the current price and 200 pips from the current price for both stop loss and take profit. So once you do this, you can now click on modify. Of course, that's done. So you can now see that stop loss and take profit is there. You can also see it here, and you can adjust it to what you want by clicking and dragging. Those are other ways to do it. That's another way to modify your take profit and stop loss. Now, another way to do it is to, for example, I already placed the trade and I want to modify it. If I don't want to do point your cursor to stop loss and TP, what I need to do is to point to any part of the trade and right click and click on modify. Can you see now? Modify or delete order. So this one can also allow you to modify, right? You can also manually input your take profit and stop loss. You can virtually see your screen. Okay, once you see your screen, you can manually input your stop loss and take profit based on structure. For example, if I want to, let me close this. And if I want to put stop loss and take profit now on this trade, I could say I want to use this low as my stop loss and this high, this one here, as my take profit. All right, I can do that. So to do that, I will have to kind of like click on lines, horizontal, to just pick a point, right? Horizontal line to pick a point. Now this one will tell me the price I'm going to use. So the first price I'm going to use for stop loss is 1.3087, and for take profit will be 1.322. So all I need to do now is to right click, say modify or delete order, and put the values 100%, 1.3087, because for take profit it will be 1.32239, something like that. Of course, I click on modify. So that way, let me, I just delete this. Permit me to also delete this line. So you can see now that I have my take profit and stop loss set on those trades. So those are the ways you can modify those orders. Now let me go to the comment section again and check what people are saying. Please, the minimum amount for copy trade. Some of them, I think it should be, I think it's from 500, 1 million. So a lot of people are saying 1 million, but of course, I think I do 1 million and copy somebody. So 1 million is fine. But if at all, 500,000 is also good. So how safe is copy trading? Very safe, sir. All you need to do is to set your risk at the beginning. For example, you want to copy with 1 million, you can say, I want to set my risk to 500,000, 50% of my account. I want to set my risk to 300,000, 30% of my account. So you can do that. So that means your risk is already set. So if the person lose it, it will not lose more than the risk you set on those sets. So 100% copy is very safe, sir. So I think it's even better than you doing nothing, if you ask me. So let's go to somebody is asking me, Isaac is here. I don't know, Isaac, I don't, like I said before, I don't know. Okay, so I think I've answered the majority of the questions here, if not all, safe. I think I've answered all. Now, besides using structure to modify TP and stop loss, what other method can you guide with stop loss and take profit? Well, the recommended one I use is always structure to modify stop loss and take profit, but you can also use number of pips. For example, you put your stop loss at 20 pips. Your take profit could be like 40 pips. That's 2-to-1 ratio. A lot of people do this on the market. A lot of the professional traders apply this method. You can also do 3-to-1. That means if you are losing one, you are looking to make three. So if you set your stop loss at 20 pips, you can take your profit or take profit to 60 pips. It's allowed, right? So those are the ways you can do it. Then you can also use candle lows, which is very technical, right? So for example, anytime a candle close, you can say, I'm moving my stop loss to the nearest low or the nearest high. Depends on whether you are selling or buying, right? So I think I've answered those ones. Now let's quickly go to, finally, I've not analyzed much. So let me just quickly go into USJPY. I'll tell you my opinion on it. Looking at the moving average strategy, the price already moved above the moving average. So it means that this price is currently bullish. But of course, the price has been going up for a while. So it could be a time for the price to reverse. So you can just check with Bollinger Band to see what the Bollinger Band is saying for family. Yeah. So the price is currently trading and pushing and aligning with the upper band, which means that the price is already 100% on the upside. So, and of course, it could just be that the price has just begun the journey to the upside. That's on the 1 hour view. Now, quickly go to GBP JPY very fast. This one is also kind of like GBP USD also that is currently moving, and the price is on the 1 hour bar is still kind of like pushing forward. So you can see the bullish engulfing bar that is currently pushing it forward. Now, I've been teaching it for a while. I've been teaching this strategy for a while. I love bullish and bearish engulfing. I don't know why. I love it. So if I see opportunity like that, I know that this is the thing I'm looking for. And of course, I trade according to that. All right. So also, I'm going to go to another one now very fast, USD card. Now, USD card is currently bearish. You can see it. And of course, if you look at the clean candle structure on D1, it means that if we do it like this, it means that it is possible that this price is currently on a resistance that maybe just broke a resistance and is pushing down. But let's look at trend line and look at the structures around this. Okay, so this is like a trend line, not like a trend line. And you can see this triple support. Triple support in the sense that this price on the D1 is 100% sitting on this trend line 3 times. You can see it. I hope you can. I hope you can. I hope you can. Triple support. That's a very strong language, right? That the price will most likely continue to push to the upside. Okay. Triple support there. And so if we now do this, I love doing this, copying the trend line and using to find a zone of interest. Of course, if you take it to the upside, we see that the price still has potential to push forward, possibly getting to this level. So right now, the price is currently coming down. And I think the price is coming to locate this trend line. That's what I feel based on what I have seen, right? This works for me. I'm telling you, sir. Or whoever is listening, I say, sir, I know ladies are also listening. Ladies and gentlemen, this works for me, all right? So what I do is that I look at this kind of structure on the chart, and of course, I take advantage of the market. So the way I see this price is most likely coming back to this support. So of course, if you get back to this support, you can take advantage of the market and place a buy. And of course, it could happen today. So if it's going to happen today, all you need to do is simple, fund your account and get ready for this one. So USD card will be the one that will give you $1,000, $2,000 today that you're looking for. So you want to, might want to celebrate this Christmas big time. USD card could be your point of call. So if the price now get back to this level, you can just wait for this and look at the reaction on 1 hour. And of course, it's possible that this happened today. You can see now that the price on the 1 hour is getting close to this support. This support is generated how? We generated it using a trend line, simple trend line that are plotted on the chart. And of course, since you know that this price will most likely continue to go to the upside, you are looking to buy. How? You are waiting for the opportunity to set. And of course, a bullish engulfing candle around this one could spell that. What you need to do is to follow your account and get ready. Now, if you want to do copy, you can do manual and wait for this opportunity to come by. And of course, you can take advantage of the market. Now, we have about 3 minutes to go. I'm going to just go to comment section and read what people are saying. Adewale is asking, please, how can I see the number of pips that I have set for stop loss and take profit to do 1.2? Very simple thing, Adewale. If you look at what I have here on this my own account, what you can do is, if you want to know the number of pips that have passed, you can just right click and click on profit and go ahead and click on point. And this way you can see that I'm only on about 8.8 pips loss right now. So 8.8 pips is about 88, I'll be 81 or 8. I'm on 8 pips, right? So you want to do 20 pips. Now you don't know how to do it. And of course, if you're also dragging on the chart, if you are dragging your stop loss and take profit, you can also reveal some of these little, especially when you're using laptop. For example, now If you look at the one I have, this one, you can see that, let me just click and drag this. Can you see? So if you look at the left side, let me modify, I'll show you something. Just look at this side. Look at where my cursor is. If I'm dragging now, you will see that some numbers will be changing. So I'm going to just click on this and drag. So you can see that I'm currently on this trade, and it's telling me that my stop loss is about 5,850. If I drop it here, I will lose 5,830 if the price gets to it. All right. And of course, the pip is 40 pips. Okay, you can see 407 pips. That's 40 pips. 407 point is 40 pips. So that's how you know. And of course, you can also see that you want it to be exactly like that. Now, that's what I recommend for people that are using phone. If you're using phone, I always recommend you understand pips. And this is what we teach in class. So if you are opportune, if you are in Lagos, you can come around and meet me one-on-one, especially if you're a VIP, on how to understand pips correctly. So what you do is you can use stop loss and take profit. You can use your entry value to know your stop loss and take profit in terms of pips. For example, now on this first trade I took, I entered at 1.31648. Let me do something so that you can see it. Everybody listen to this so that you can take advantage of it. I'm going to go to Paint and show you something very fast so that I can teach this here. Of course, more you can come for class. So, like I said, I'm going to come here, 1.31648. So let me click on here and share this. Okay, 1.31648 is our entry. For the person that asks, how do you use number of pips to know stop loss and take profit? So I place a 5, and I want to use 20 pips stop loss and 40 pips take profit. Ratio 1 to 2. 1 to 2. That's 1 is risk and 2 is reward. Risk. Now, I want to use 20 pips stop loss compared to 40 pips take profit. Is that not? That's very simple. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and click on File and click on New and click on Don't Save. So let's go back to the same theory or the same number, 1.31648. Uh, 1.31648. Remember, it's a buy trade. So my stop loss is going to be 20 pips. My take profit is going to be 40 pips. So if I do 20 pips away from this, it's going to give me 1.31 448. Remember, I'm just removing 20 pips from 6. That's this 6 here. So 448 will be my stop loss. And my take profit is going to be, because I'm going to be using 40 pips, so I'm going to add 400 points to this, right? So I have 8, I have 4, I have 0, I have 2, I have 3. Sorry, yeah. 1.32048. That would be the pip value. So this is the way you do it. And of course, it will be exactly 40 pips and 20 pips for your stop loss. Now, if I apply this to the trade I have on the chart, it will be very clear. And of course, everybody will see it. That it's actually 40 pips and 20 pips. So let's go ahead and apply this. So I'm going to be using 1.32048 for take profit for that trade. Let's go back and do that. Share and finally come back to this part. So that trade on this particular trade. So let's say I'm using stop loss 1 point, no, not close. I want to modify, really. Modify. 1.31648. So remember the take profit we choose or that we calculated was 1.32048. So I'm going to come here and change this one to 1.32048. And the stop loss we choose on that calculation was 1.31448. So I'm going to come back here, 1.31448. So if I do OK now, everything, the take profit should be exactly 20 pips, and the stop loss should be exactly 40 pips. So if you check here now, you see that, permit me to check this. You can see 200 pips, that's 200 points for that stop loss, and the take profit is going to be exactly 400 pips. That's 400 points for take profit, which is 40 pips take profit and 20 pips stop loss. So this is all you can. This is how you use pips to do this. And of course, this one is useful for especially those people that are using phone. It's very, very important that you know some of these things. So I'm greeting everybody one more time, starting from people that can see and people that cannot see. So every one of you, I greet you all from Abdul Ghani to Adekola to everybody. I'm wishing you all a very beautiful day and of course a very beautiful week ahead. Don't forget all those events we have ahead of time. And of course, my phone number is already given. Ike, Joshua, everybody. I can see all of you. All right, I'm greeting you all. Of course, I'm giving you head up that yeah, it's going to be a good day for all of us today. So it's once again it's a wrap. Of course, tomorrow we continue. Of course, it's going to be a good one, right? So yeah, somebody's asking, is the last digit useless? Not entirely, it's still useful, right? You can still use it, just use it to calculate, all right? Please let this fellow go beginners class for more details, all right? That's okay. You can ask questions, it's allowed. And of course, thank you everybody. Bye bye. All right.